So the calendar of renewals, this is something new that I haven't shown you. So why wouldn't I show it to you now? We have here the renewals analysis. This is an analysis of all the previous contracts, and we are looking at the tender date or contract date in order to calculate and the duration, the initially announced duration of this contract, to estimate somehow when it will be retendered. Because for European institutions and for all public authorities, a lot of these contracts are recurrent. So they are framework contracts or maybe service contracts, and they run for 4 years and they are being retendered because of procurement policy. So based on these parameters, like tender date or contract date, you have here a calendar of renewals. This is filtered for the European, the Publications Office of the European Union, IT services. So I have here probable renewals per year, but I can even drill down per semester or per quarter. And I can see this as a calendar because it is a calendar of renewals, but also as a table. For instance, this is a list, a table of renewals. This is the way you build your funnel. So you look at this list of, these are 10 tenders, likely to be renewed 2025 and 2026. I usually extend it by at least 1 year, because it very often is not precise. So I have 17 possible renewals. I can export them in my Excel, and I can analyze them and prioritize them. I can monitor them if something happens on any of this. So both views, as I said, calendar as well as table. We also launched a daily activity report email. Every day you receive information about what your organization did. So if your colleagues flagged an opportunity, put a comment, assigned you an opportunity as an owner, if every event of this type, you receive a daily activity report email. You can configure it to be obviously weekly or monthly. The contact points is something new. It was requested, so that's why we implemented it. And we are enriching our database of contact points every day. This is critical for sales. I did receive a question. It was regarding pricing. You can see our standard pricing on our website. There's a menu pricing. We can provide packages for companies. If you have particular needs, please don't hesitate to reach out. We understand that some of our customers are smaller companies and even consultants. So to answer the question from Mihai, yes, we do have also consultants, independent experts that are using the platform as well. So please reach out to us and we will see your particular needs. There are discounts for individual experts or for startups or SMEs. And for large companies, we do have also huge companies working with our platform and they have a lot of users. So obviously we are flexible to see the best package that suits you. We have a question from Anina. The identification in the local platform, for example, in Romania is SEAP. I showed in my example only European institutions projects, but yes, we do have data from several national platforms as well, which do not appear in TED. So let me reshare my screen and I will show you. We do have the identifier from SEAP as well. Is this the right screen? Yes. So look, I filter here Romania IT contracts. So these are tenders from authorities in Romania. I have document IDs. Obviously, these are from TED. But when you look at them, you will also see the IDs and the sources from national authorities. For instance, this is an ID if you look at it, this is an ID that comes directly from a national procurement portal. It is not a document ID. So that was the first question. So we do have the IDs from other sources. It's the same in Belgium, I think. So Belgium, see, they don't have a national ID, they use a universal ID. This is the universal ID from Belgium. And if I'm going to, let me check. So this is this is the ID from a Belgium authority, right? Let me check questions again. There was a second question. Do you monitor also the site of clients for direct acquisitions? No, not at this moment. We do have a backlog of countries and data sources that we are monitoring and that we also intend to be monitoring in the future. At this moment, I already enumerated TED, which covers pretty much the entire Europe, but only above a particular threshold, and some national procurement portals. For specific authorities, it's something that we have in our backlog to add. We would need to discuss specifically your needs, and depending on how important this is for you, let's see how fast we can integrate additional data sources. We were asked several times if we allow data export in integration with other platforms. So export, yes, we allow export in Excel files and CSV of everything. So you can export directly and use it yourself. We are working on several integrations with tools such as Teams, Salesforce, Microsoft Dynamics CRMs, and so on. These need still a bit of backend wiring, so it's not available out of the box. We should talk about this. Then, regarding qualification, a lot of companies have a very niche business. They are, for instance, companies working only in cybersecurity or only in a particular type of events. Yes, it is possible to configure the filters that you are using and the parameters and the tender analysis forms. The way I typically do it, and we are supporting our users as well when it is needed, is we use keywords. So this is the main way you can parameterize and configure your own type of searches. Also, we received a question regarding if we can analyze our own tender documents, like maybe for a private tender or a two-step tender with pre-qualification, pre-selection, and then final submission. It is something we are working on, and it will be available very, very soon. Reach out if you want to test it to be in our pilot for this one. So if you have your own documents, private, confidential, that you want to analyze, we are here. There was a last question from Max. Is it possible to apply and save domain-specific search forms templates? I imagine that when you say domain, you mean the type of services? Yes, absolutely. I already showed, but I do have 1 minute. Why not to share the screen again? So, and let's see again the question to make sure I understand it correctly. Is it possible to apply and save domain-specific search form templates? So this is a report. Let's go to a report. Let's say the list of opportunities. So you can change whatever domain you want, like this is hardware, and you can add Luxembourg and maybe Netherlands, and you can add a keyword like cybersecurity. And yes, click and save here your own report. This is my personal report of cyber for IT in Benelux. So this is how it works. It's highly configurable.